Hello, everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you all. It is Friday the 17th, St. Patrick's Day 2023. And what better way to celebrate St. Patrick's Day than by reviewing a new Van Morrison album? Van, a week ago, put out an album called Moving on Skiffle. Um, this is a double album, 2 CD set, which is the one that I bought. And it is, it's a listen, and I really, really, really love it. I was really worried about a new Van Morrison album. Van has been, uh, very outspoken in recent years. I won't go into any of that, but let's just say he has gotten on a lot of bad sides with some of the things that he's said, and it all came to fruition with his what I consider to be a monstrosity of an album from last year, What's It Gonna Take, which I've only listened to one time, and that will probably be the only time, but I will keep it because I am a Van Morrison completist. So when Van announced a new album, I was like, oh, great. And then I saw it was two discs. I was like, what are we going to get into now? But it's a covers album. There's a couple of slight lyrical changes that Van has made. Really only one political song. It's the first song on CD2 called Gov Don't Allow. But again, he has the right to say what he wants to say. I mean, I'm not holding that against him, but I'm just glad that we just get some good Van Morrison music. And I would say 95% of this album is very upbeat and just a great band, great backing vocals. And there's a note there in the middle, which you can't probably make out, by Jimmy Page, um, that says, and I will read, Van has revisited the songs from the golden age of Skiffle. He has revisited, rewired, readdressed, and rearranged with this project. Listen to these gems that originated in the days when songs were passed on from family to family, father to son, mother to daughter. Van now passes the baton to us so that his new take on these old classics can be enjoyed again, recrafted by Van. And again, it is 23 songs of so let me go into it here. So several tracks are traditional songs that are arranged by Van. Three tracks, let's see, tracks number 8. So This Loving Light of Mine, which he essentially retakes This Little Light of Mine, the old gospel song. Track number 12, Gov Don't Allow, which I mentioned, and track 23, Green Rocky Road, which is a cover of the song Green Green Rocky Road by Dave Van Ronk, the folk singer, which is a beautiful closer to the album. It's like 8 minutes long, and it's beautiful, very ethereal Van Morrison, and I am really a fan of it. He also does songs by Elizabeth Cotton, Red Nelson, Dickie Bishop, Leroy Carr, Jim Reeves, Jimmy Rogers, Washboard Sam, Roy Acuff on Streamline Cannonball, Don Gibson, and then he does 2 Hank Williams songs. He does I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry, and then Cold Cold Heart. He does them very well. And then track number 19, I'm Moving On by Hank Snow, the Canadian country singer. So again, there's Van looking extra dapper. And if anybody doesn't follow Van Morrison's career like I do, you might not know that, but Van really has not lost a step in his voice. I mean, his voice is killer, and I would say he is probably the best singer of any of the guys from I mean, technically Van's from the '60s with them. He's probably the best singer that is still around from the '60s. I would say, just you know, killer, strong baritone vocals, that soulful Van sound that we all love. One of my favorite songs on here, number 3, Sail Away Ladies, kind of a seafaring song. Very cool. It kind of reminds me of the song Sail Away Raymond by George Harrison that Ringo Starr covered on the Ringo album. Take This Hammer is another good one. In the Evening When the Sun Goes Down, Yonder Comes a Sucker, Traveling Blues. He had released tracks Freight Train, Streamline Train, and Streamline Cannonball. He also does a great version of Greenback Dollar. He does I Wish I Was an Apple on a Tree. Uh, again, Cotton Fields, which, that's a song that, the Beach Boys covered, that Al Jardine sang, which is really cool. It's an old traditional song. When I was a little bitty baby, my mom would rock me in the cradle of them old cotton fields back home. It's just, the whole album just moves. It's a great band. Again, great background vocals. And if you were disappointed by the last couple of Van Morrison albums, give this one a listen. It's not crotchety Van. I think Rolling Stone gave this a really bad review. Don't listen to it. It is very upbeat. It is a, tap your fingers the whole way through kind of album. Van is in great voice. It's a great band. Like I said, great brushes in the background. Van has some killer saxophone solos on this album. And he's going back to music that he grew up with the Skiffle music. I know he had an album called the Skiffle Sessions back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I think Lonnie Donegan was on that with him as well. But anyway, check it out. Moving on, Skiffle. I highly recommend it. It is a very, very solid album. And I have been listening to Van all day long for St. Patrick's Day. And I would encourage you to do the same with your evening. So check it out. Let me know what you think. Have you got the album? I know my buddy Randall Nelson is going to be getting this. And he's going to let me know what he thinks of that. So everybody else, let me know if you've bought it. Check it out. Check out some of the songs on YouTube if you're afraid to buy it. And let me know what you think. So y'all be good. Take care. Subscribe. Please, please, please subscribe. And I will talk to you very soon. Y'all be good. Take care. And enjoy your weekend. Bye now.